Kumusta po mga kabayan? In this video, we are going to discuss and give opinion on the released list of green countries of the IATF. We are also going to discuss the International Vaccination Certificate, so watch the full video to know more. And then let's analyze if all this will actually help the overwhelmed quarantine facilities in the Philippines. First, let's see which countries are in this green list, or what the IATF refers to as list of low-risk countries. And in this list, there are only very few countries which actually has a significant number of Filipinos, and the rest do not have a large Filipino population or maybe none at all. The countries with significant Filipino population that is included in the green list are the following: Australia, Brunei, China, Hong Kong, Israel, New Zealand, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam. The rest, they just added it like a copy-paste from the WHO. Are there even Filipinos living in these countries? Maybe 10, 100? My God! They probably did not even consider which countries have very large Filipino population, and then what is the vaccination status in that country. You might ask, why are we talking about the vaccination status of that country? Well, because we are talking about protocol for fully vaccinated individuals, right? Why are we even easing restrictions on fully vaccinated people? It is because vaccines are supposed to protect us from the virus. And why did they not consider herd immunity or the level of protection already in that country where the travelers are coming from? For example, they did not include the United States of America on their green list, when in fact we have 4 million plus Filipinos living there, and that the USA has already vaccinated 54% of their population, or about 325 million doses have already been administered there. And that a lot of other countries in the European Union will be opening its borders to tourists from the US because they recognize the vaccination milestones there. Does this mean the Philippine medical experts are the best in the world? Even better than the European Union, huh? This is just wow. Second, they did not include the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where we have almost 1 million Filipinos. The vaccination rate there is also high, and they are also very strict in their health protocols. And this country is actually one of those who started to ease restrictions on fully vaccinated individuals. It means the medical experts in Saudi Arabia are very confident about their control over the pandemic, and they are setting a good example to the citizens and maybe the world by telling them that if you get vaccinated, it means you are protected and will not cause harm to other people. Third, and most interesting, we know that the IATF keeps on banning anyone coming from the UAE because of the Delta variant, di umano. But look at the vaccination status in UAE. It is actually at world rank number 1 for those administered per 100 people. And there is a considerable amount of Filipinos there. So this travel ban is really a direct hit to the overseas Filipino core population. Ang dami niyan pag nag-travel ban ka sa ganyang bansa na maraming Pilipino, rank number 3 pa nga ito sa bilang ng Filipino population abroad, then ang dami mong potentially in-stranded na Pilipino. Pinarwisyo mo talaga sila. Tapos, ang UAE pa nga ang isa sa pinakamaganda ang control against COVID-19. Think about it. Dubai is one of the biggest hubs, so many travelers enter or pass through here, but they manage to contain the outbreaks incredibly well. And I would mention again, they are at world rank number 1 sa pagbabakuna sa mga nakatira doon. O ano, IATF, DOH, kaya nyo ba yun? Fourth, this is interesting. Let's look at the data of Japan, and then later on, let's look at Australia. So here we see 23% vaccination rate in Japan, or about 43 million doses administered. It ranks number 5 in the number of Filipinos abroad. Japan is not in DOH green list. Then here we have Australia. So Australia is one of the lucky countries. They have had very low COVID cases already. The vaccination rate of Japan and Australia are actually at par or almost the same. The difference is there are more flights from Japan to the Philippines. From Australia, we only have very few, But let's listen to this. What does this mean?
Napagdesisyonan din ng inyong IATF ng opsyon ng ipresenta ang Philippine Overseas Labor Office polo validations bilang proof of vaccination status ay exclusive lamang sa mga overseas Filipino workers. Magsisimulang tumanggap ang ating mga polo ng applications for validation simula July 5, 2021. Samantala, ang mga OFWs na makakapagpresenta ng international certificates of vaccination ay maaari nang makapag-avail ng green lanes simula bukas, July 1, 2021, provided na makakasunod sila sa mga requirements. Napagdesisyonan din ng inyong IATF ng opsyon ng ipresenta ang Philippine Overseas Labor Office polo validations bilang proof of vaccination status ay exclusive lamang sa mga overseas.
What does this mean? The validation is only for OFWs and it should be done at the polo office. Do they even know that for most countries it is very difficult to go there? Like for us here in Austria, we have to cross the border to Milan, Italy, travel for 6 hours to go to the polo office. Second, so if you are non-OFW, you have to present an international vaccination certificate. Let's look here in Wikipedia. The International Certificate of Vaccination or Prophylaxis, also known as the Carte, Chaune, or Yellow Card, is an official vaccination report created by the World Health Organization. As a travel document, it is a kind of medical passport that is recognized internationally and may be required for entry to certain countries where there are increased health risk for travelers. Here in Austria, we have this yellow card that says international certificate. But I don't know if other countries also have this, and it looks very much similar to the one in Wikipedia. But the question is, really, do all countries issue this kind of international vaccination certificate? Anong gustong ipahatid ng IATF dito? Parang sinasabi na rin nila na, eto, pwede na ang mga fully vaccinated, pero bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo kung paano kayo kukuha ng international vaccination certificate. Matanong ko nga kayo, IATF, nag-i-issue ba kayo ng international vaccination certificate sa COVID? Alam nyo palang may ganito, bakit hindi nyo rin gawin? IATF, we appreciate that you are considering the easing of the restrictions. That's a good start. But will it help? Will this new protocol ease the situation in the quarantine facilities? In my opinion, it will only have very little impact. Sobrang hirap pa ng requirements to get this vaccination certificate verified. Also, the countries you put in the green list, Singapore, Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, there are big restrictions in these countries at the moment. So Filipinos there are really not keen on going home at the moment. Most returning Filipinos are still coming from the USA, Saudi Arabia, the Middle East in general. So wala rin, ganun pa rin. Puno pa rin ang quarantine hotel natin. Marami pa rin makakancel na flights. Ayaw nyo talaga kaming pauwiin. Ewan ko, basahin nyo IATF. Wala talaga sa isip nyo na tulungan ng mga OFW at mga returning Filipinos. Puro kayo science, science, science. Minsan gumamit din kayo ng common sense saka konsensya. Hanggang dito na lang mga kabayan. God bless us all at sana makauwi na tayong lahat. Stay safe po.